Oh, we're back. Alright, is the laptop going to come back, or do I have to do something to it first? Let's see. It says 10 seconds to go. I'm just going to wait it out. Let's see if it actually reconnects. It should. I changed the way I do things today. Any second now. We're back? Are we back? Yes. Yes, we are. Alright, awesome. Good to see that actually worked. Oh man, that was stressful. It took me, nearly 3 hours to get all my stuff sorted, but we've done it. We've got some nice upgrades going today. Let's see if I can fix this a little. Hang on. Let's actually check the preview. Yeah, so I've got to go more that way, more that way, which means I've got to bring the camera that way. So let's just do this. Oh, look at that. I can actually reach it without getting off the treadmill for once. Actually, speaking of, I should start it. Is it going to start? Can I go forwards? Do I have that ability? There we go. Look at that forward momentum. Hell yeah. Oh, this thing's like breaking.
You upgrading already?
I've upgraded. Let's see if you can tell what I've done. One thing is very obvious right off the get-go. You should be able to tell right now what it is. Actually, a few things are obvious. But it's taken me, it took me 3 hours to get everything done. I've done a lot of work in OBS and a lot of testing. Every time I test, I gotta do a recording from here, then go off to my room, check the files, make the changes, come back here, do another recording. And I've been doing that all afternoon. So hopefully things are good now. Yeah, it takes a while. But one thing I can do, look how much closer to the lens I am. So I've moved the camera. That's a big one, because it was further away before. The reason why I moved it, I want the microphone closer to me, so it doesn't pick up all the other crap around me. Before, it was picking up the treadmill, the freezer, the fridge, and when I'm editing the stuff, like, the audio was horrible, and I realized that when I played back some of the edits, or some of the videos I was doing. It's a lot better now. Other upgrades, geez, what else did I do? Yes, I've got a noise gate on now for that microphone. I've adjusted the levels, so that sounds, it's a lot louder than the laptop.
Close with a short field is better, yeah.
Yeah, closer is definitely better. I've put the camera up higher, and the way I've done it is I've got the tripod sitting on 3 of my speakers, so it's bumped it up a little bit. It's better than, looking up at the chin. Instead, you're just sort of like straight on. I think that's a lot better. What else did I do? I've had to change the frame rate. Because what I want to do now is I want to record these directly on my computer. And instead of doing the stream, grabbing it from OBS, bringing it in, and then doing it. Because the problem with that is, if I'm not grabbing it from OBS, grabbing it from Twitch. If you grab it from Twitch, all the audio tracks are just stuck together. If I record separately, my audio is separate, which means the laptop audio is separate from that audio, is separate from the music. It's a lot better. And one other change I'll be doing, I've got to turn TTS off when I'm watching a video so it doesn't interrupt the recording, because that'll just bake it in. Then I can't do anything about that.
And he said, yes, if your YouTube recording will be better for a few things.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why.
So editing this should be a lot easier, a lot better. And the final products will be a lot nicer.
Well, if I don't want to talk or...
I'll still share. You don't have to talk.
We talked earlier.
Yeah, you can get out of here if you don't want to be here. No one's forcing you to be here. But yeah, check out my new setup. It's a lot better. I've got a new lens as well. This is What, the 11 to 20 f2.8? It's a Tokina lens. This is the one I've been telling Luke to get, or a similar one. I've been telling him to get the 11 to 16 because it's quite a bit cheaper. But what I want to know is, actually, you probably can't even hear it. I can hear it. It makes little clicking noises when the autofocus is going.
Turn yourself out. Then you can't.
I don't think you can even do that. What's the little thing next to your badge? Oh, it's like touching grass? I can't really tell. But yeah, I am very happy with my new setup. It's going to take a bit longer to set up a stream because I've got to carefully place the treadmill on the speakers. Actually, I'll show you like full screen.
Ozzy Danny said, no, you can't, but it's a common joke.
There we go.
Viceroy said, yeah, this was here before the IRL badge.
So that's full screen now. Oh, also, I got a haircut. So I did that today too. So things, yeah, should be a little bit better now. Also, we're with 30 FPS. My computer was dropping frames because it was taking in 60 from the laptop. I can't drop this to 30. The audio goes weird when I do that. And the camera was 30. And I don't know why. It just couldn't handle it. So I tried different codecs. You know, I tried H.265,
Viceroy
264.
said, you look crazy along, but nice cut, man.
Yeah, it's a lot nicer than it was before. My hair was freaking long, man. It was like, I was getting like a half mullet. It was like down to here. So this is heaps better. Now I can really feel the cold weather. But yeah, I'm happy. I think this is a much better setup. I like having the camera higher. I don't like it looking up at people. It's like, you just see like their neck. You see all the neck rolls and it's not a flattering look. You got to get it like flat on or sort of get the MySpace angles where you're a little bit lower. That's why everyone holds their phones up when they take their photos. So I think this is a lot better. And yeah, the background noise, like that fridge compressor is going right now. You can't hear it. I mean, the music's going to drown it out anyway. And the steps on the treadmill, shouldn't be able to hear those now either. Or maybe just faintly. But I think the audio is just a lot better.
Good work.
So yeah, everything's, I'm pretty happy with it. This is my first real test. I haven't done stream and recording simultaneously yet. But I checked it just before I came out here. It wasn't dropping frames. Everything seems pretty good. So I will try it out and see how we go. So, I've got a bunch of videos. This first one's actually, yeah, I mean, you can see the title right here. What is it? Make your own IRL live streaming backpack with multiple cellular connections. And then he's got, I don't know, some hacker stuff in there. Glynet and OpenWRT. Oh, the other thing, yeah, I got to turn off TTS whenever I start up a video. So yeah, this will be interesting. I want to see, like, is it even relevant? It looks like a year ago, so this is not too old. I know the live IRL backpacks situation's changed a lot. Like, the de facto now is, yeah, your setup, like Raspberry Pi Plus with the Bell software and all that on it. But yeah, I want to see what this guy's got to say, and we'll check it out. So, got to turn that off.
Speech disabled.
Ooh, I don't do that very often. That's rare. I've got to get better at looking at the phone for like responding to alerts and yeah, just messages in general. Yeah, Orange Pi would be really good. Then I could do 1080-60. If I can get a phone with USB 3, then I can do 1080-60. Then it'll look good. But yeah, phone, GPU, all this shit in the future. Not a priority right now. We'll get there. Also, it's hard to find a phone with like USB 3. It's basically flagship or bust. There's not many cheap phones that have it.
So they call this thing a travel router.
I like your studio though. That's nice.
Use it for traveling.
I think that's like a real neon light too.
iNet router into a completely portable wireless hotspot. Put it in a
Also, we're going too
backpack,
slow.
connect some phones to it,
There we
do
go.
some parent share, and you get all the benefits of Speedify for the price of GLINet. And the more phones you connect, the stronger the hotspot gets. All you'll need is something that looks like this. Plenty of devices under
What even was that?
Need a battery to connect
It's a
it
router,
to,
portable
something that
router.
looks-
Okay.
Plenty of devices under $100
Is he?
that'll work. You need a battery to connect it to, something that looks like this.
I
This
can
was
go
$12.
quickly
And you
adjust
need the
it. If
smartphone.
I'm not
They can
talking,
get-
is he too quiet? I can bump him up a little. I can't do it from here. I got to like run off and do it. But I'll let him play for a little bit. Just let me know.
expensive if you buy them fresh, but chances are you got one. Now, a quick overview of how things look when you'll initially get set up is something that looks like this. Now, this thing does not have Speedify on it right now. I'm going to show
I
you what it looks
checked
like.
it with headphones. It wasn't too bad. I could bump him up a little bit, but I've got to just run off and quickly do it. It'll take like, I don't know, 5 seconds. Maybe a little more than 5. Because I did check it. Like, if I'm talking, yeah, I drown him out. Because this is a lot louder now. It's a lot better. Anyway, I'll go do that now. I'll throw you into BRB, and I'll just give it a quick shot. Yeah, but it's not just going to be him. I think it's going to be a lot of videos. They're going to be not loud enough. So just let me fix that quickly, and I'll be back. I hope everything reconnects. Oh, one's back. What about the laptop? Is the laptop coming back? Yes. All right, we're good. All right, we'll see how this goes. Should be a little better. Tongue-tied there. I went from -12 to -6, so that's actually quite a big jump. I usually adjust audio in like -3 decibel increments. It's a pretty good amount to go with.
Like just to install it the first time over.
Speedify.
And it's the same process
This-
you'll use on any
This
Linux
right here
device you'll work
is
with.
already
Just go
going to
ahead
turn
and
a lot of
SSH
people
into the
away.
router.
They're
In
going
my
to see
case,
this and be
it
like, too much work. Too difficult. Point rewards. Yeah, I've got a few. I've got some good ones for the bike. I've got none in here. Oh, maybe I can do something here. Like, redeem incline. Or redeem, like, fast speed or something like that for a set amount of time. But it's kind of hard for you guys to see. I'll have to think of something for on the treadmill. But yeah, it's going to be murder when I put a redeem in because everybody's got a lot of points since I haven't had any. I'm going to need something in there that just like helps people burn points. So I need to think about that. Yeah, I've got to do the bike ones. They're coming. One thing at a time. Yeah, also I need to do, what was it? I need to put the Twitch alerts on because then you can get more emotes, more animated ones and more regular ones. So I want to do that too. But it's on the list.
Has an IP address of
Speedify. I heard
192.168.9.1.
Benji tell me about this.
You can tell this many different ways. Check out our other videos if you want more on this. But we'll just get in there, type in vegetables, which happens to be the password. It'll always be the password. And do a little wget
I know a lot already.
https get.speedify.com. And you should always check a script before you run it from the internet. I know this one looks alright
This
because
is not easy. There are way easier ways to do this.
it's going to take some time.
You know, to get like a similar service.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Now,
have to
the
figure
ones
out how
you
to do
have
that too.
Speedify, you're going to need to set up an
How
account for a
to
route. You get one
quickly
at
change alerts based on the type of stream
once
that I'm doing. Because if I'm in here, I don't really want all the bike ones, and when I'm on the bike, I don't want all the ones in here. So, yeah, that'll take some thing. I'm sure there's a way to do it in StreamerBot. Just like click a thing and it just goes and does it. But I'll get to that when I get to it.
you have Speedify installed, the way to refresh Lucy and get Speedify's magic up on the screen is to log out, log back in with our trusty vegetables password, and we should see Speedify up at the
Put in
top.
WRT
The
is what
same
it's
user interface that you're familiar with on all of your other devices. Once we boot up the UI, we'll see two networks here. A WAN, which is trusty old Comcast cable.
Yeah, there'll be another way to do it
tethered
too.
phone.
I think there's a way you can do it through
USB cable over here.
the Twitch manager.
Over to my phone over here. Now we can remove all of these other cables at this point, walk outside, pair and share with another phone, and be totally fine.
Hang on, let's just have a quick look at his setup. What's he got? He's
Cool,
got
so
Stream
what we
Deck.
got here
got
is-
freaking cables everywhere. I don't know what he's got in his left hand. Like, is that his mouse? I can't really tell. Anyway.
Cool. So what we've got here is a little GLINet router.
Okay, so he's
and it's
put
got
it into the
Speedify.
router.
We've also got a little
And I'm guessing
battery
it's
pack right here.
One of those
This one
routers where you
also
can just
very cheap
upload
and common.
whatever
You're gonna
firmware
want
you want
maybe-
onto it, which is kind of cool. I think Starkiller was saying that one that he recommended, you can do that to it. So this might be a similar type.
3 or 4 amps of output to get something like this, 5 volts too. Raspberry Pi and a lot of GLINet devices are in the same ballpark. And this, as you can see, is
so that's
our
just running through
good old
an app.
Speedify UI with 2 connections on it, except you'd be forgiven for thinking that this is the UI running on the phone. It's not. This is the
it's
UI
through a web
running
portal.
on the router. And this connection over here is not this phone, but rather...
This is confusing already.
Now, right now, I've got this set up as a secondary pair and share connection and this tether as also secondary, which means that it'll try to use these about equally in terms of cost. But that phone, which is streaming right now, is also bonding its own cellular connection. So we've got 3 connections. There's levels to this stuff. So that one is going to balance its connections and bond them however it wants. And once that stuff gets to the router, then the router is going to pick between these
So
two.
that's like
And if
a
any one of the
redundancy
3
setup
fails,
rather than
we're
let's combine all of them and get one really strong signal. I don't know if I like that. That doesn't seem good. Because you're paying for a data sim and it doesn't seem like you're going to be able to use it most of the time. It's just there as a fallback. Unless I've misinterpreted what he is explaining.
still going to be good to go. So
Yeah, I
final
think so
piece
too. There's got to be an
putting this
easy way
on
to
the
do this.
road
This
is
was a
just
year
to
ago.
throw it in
Maybe
the
there is
backpack.
now. Plus,
we're going to go up some
the
stairs.
first minute
onto a
of the
roof.
video, he's like,
And those
just do
stairs
all
do
this
not
code and it works. And it's like, well, do you want to talk us through it, mate?
have very good cellular coverage. So we're hoping that one of
Yeah,
these 3
Phones
connections
or
is
different
going to get us through the
providers,
stream.
but then a way to combine all those signals. That's the dream. I still think just two phones is enough. Chat phone, stream phone, bonded, you're good. 2 separate providers.
Not a lot of
You
speed.
really need an extra one? Maybe you can do like a through like a USB cable.
So what's going on here?
So it looks like your phone is preferring your cellular in this moment, just because we're not getting that much traffic.
Oh, so it is.
These guys are
it
just
is
helping
bonded.
out a little bit. Although because we set these both to
It does use
secondary,
all of them.
and it looks like Speedify thinks that they're about just as good as each other, it's using them about equally. In fact,
least
you
it's
can
those
see
two.
just
I don't
about
know
how
about the
good it
third
thinks
one.
these connections are with those stars over there. This is called the mean opinion score. And it's a little bit of math over the latency, the loss, and the jitter on these connections.
So one of these
Scott,
connections
New
by
York?
itself probably wouldn't be fast enough for a 720p stream.
Not even close. And if it fails, you're out of luck. So you really want more than one, at least 2. Right now we've got 3.
So this isn't just load balancing, right? This is
No, there is a distinction. So load balancing and bonding and failover, Speedify does it all. And it load balances things at the packet level. So you might have one connection going up to a server somewhere, for example, Twitch. And if one of those packets fails on one connection, it can just go on over to another device's connection and start using that. But if you're load balancing things on the HTTP level or a higher level up on the stack, then if your connection goes out, everything does.
I think he doesn't do the best job explaining this. Like,
You can
he's
work with as many phones as
proficient,
you-
knows how to use it, knows how to set it up. But in terms of getting the concept across of how it works, I'm going to have to check out a few more videos privately. I'll just run through them on my own.
You have. If you're walking around with your buddies or you're hanging around at a camp somewhere, everyone who has Speedify is on the same
Yeah,
router
I'm gonna
or
do
Wi-Fi
that.
network. You can all pair and share your connections together and get the more the better, really. As many phones as you have around, you can use their connections without wires.
See, I would just cut this. Just get to the next bit. Nobody needs like a long montage of a fast forward clip. Yeah, he needs to like just give me the dumb version of it, and then I'll get it. Explain as you would to a child.
Not bad.
Bit
Still
of a delay there.
a little bit of a delay.
Also,
As you can see,
I'm curious,
the stream
what's
stayed
my
up
delay like
the
now?
whole
So if
time.
I hit the pause
That's
button,
it. Like
3,
and subscribe
2,
if you want any more
1,
cool tech tips like this.
should be about 3 seconds or so. It should be a little bit better now, since I'm doing 30 frames a second instead of 60. Shouldn't be so bad. Anyway, that video is done. Yeah,
Speech enabled.
I reckon I'm gonna have to check out some other ones on this. First, I'm gonna have to look up OpenWRT, figure out what that is. Then, have a look at a bunch of Speedify
Viceroy
tutorials.
said It was about 3-second delay.
Yeah, that's not bad. I can deal with that. Now that I can split my audio and my video, I can just create another layer of video, mask out everything, adjust it by 3 seconds, and then everything's synced up. So then for the actual video that I export, everything makes sense, matches up much better. Alright, what's next? What do we got next? I've got heaps of videos queued up, because I haven't done this for a while.
Viceroy said, also my setup is so much easier and pretty efficient.
Yeah, it seems a lot easier.
Because I have a camera, one phone wired and another wireless is perfect.
Yeah. You've got, just through wireless and then one through like USB or whatever.
Viceroy said, if I want to go all in and get another 50k battery and wire my chat phone.
Yeah, I mean, chat phone, if you have a good one, not piece of crap like this, should last like most of the day, especially if you have dark mode on. A bright white screen is going to chew battery faster than a black screen. So, like, this is horrible, man. This is plugged in to the laptop and it's still draining. It's charging, but it's using more than it can take in from the laptop. Because it's probably only 5 watts out of the cable. That's why I want to get another phone. Because then I don't need that cable. Then I can just have it on my wrist, no cables, and I'm free. Way better. Oh, this is a long video. I might, let's have a look at the queue. Find something a little shorter to go to. These long videos, man, they take ages to get through. So let's see if I can find something a little easier to chew through.
Viceroy said, by me, if you get a standard flagship model, it costs you 600 to 800 USD. This will be a powerful option.
Yeah, it will be. But then it's just like, hey, just have money. Just have more money. And I don't have more money. So I need a cheap option.
Oh, is my friend's AMD on there? It's like...
I already looked at that. It was the Demon Slayer one. I checked it out. I think he manually did all the like, I wouldn't say subtitles, but the text for the vocals. And that would have taken ages. Because it looks like he put them in, he did it word by word, and he repositioned it for basically every scene. It would have taken a while. Okay, fake stream coaches are lying to you. I'll put it up to you guys. What do you guys want to check out? Fake stream coaches?
Viceroy said, yeah, we did. In like a week or so.
Yeah, it would have.
Asterisk 2 weeks.
Investigating Chinese live streamer training camps. That'll be interesting because I know a guy who actually wants to do this. I was at a friend's wedding and yeah, he told us, he's like, yeah, I'm setting up a TikTok streaming studio in China. Well, like, that's very different to what you usually do. But hey, more power to you.
Said, China, China, China.
China. All right, sounds like a good one. And we got another China one straight after it, so let's roll. I'll just give the laptop half an hour to rev its engines up and get going. This laptop's okay when OBS isn't running. Hold up, buddy.
Have you ever wanted to become a
So, yeah, this video, investigating Chinese live streamer training camps. I've seen clips. I've seen, like, there's a bridge somewhere or a tunnel, and there's just hundreds of streamers, and they've all got the same setups.
So China video video.
Oh, I'm fascinated by it. Hang on, we gotta mute everything.
Disabled.
Yeah, I just find it, like, I find how other cultures approach using technology interesting. Not just technology, just anything in general. Just the way that they use it and the way that they do it and their take on it. That's just fascinating to me. But yeah, I've seen these, like tunnels where they just have, like, hundreds of streamers. And they're all got their little cushion or whatever and they're set up. And for some reason, they all go to the same spot, but they frame it so you can only see them against the wall. It's so weird. And this is like on what's the Chinese version of TikTok? Whatever that one is. That's the app that they use. So yeah, let's check it out. This one's all about training camps. I'm sure there's going to be scams involved. We'll figure it out from there.
live streamer in China? Well, look no further.
Look
Just
at
stumble upon
this.
one of these underground
Look at
training
dystopian
camps
this
that'll
is.
have you looking like you just walked into a Temu factory,
Crazy.
but for streamers. The new dream everybody in China is chasing right now is becoming a live stream celebrity. But apparently the new master plan that will 100% guarantee you become a famous, successful streamer are
It's
these
gotta be a
so-called
scam.
live streamer training camps. Yep, actual boot camps designed to turn regular people into online celebrities. You sign up, you attend classes, and then by the end, you're supposed to walk out like the next Jackson Wang of live streaming. Sounds amazing, right? Except there's one small problem. A lot of these training programs are basically just expensive PowerPoint presentations pretending to be some
There'll be
secret
some more
knowledge.
in-depth ones,
They
though.
take extremely basic marketing advice, like stuff you could learn from like a 10-minute YouTube video, and then they package it like it's some secret ancient live streaming technique passed down by the live streaming monks. From yelling affirmations like, bless me with the luck of 100k viewers, or bring upon the tier 3 gifted subs, to pretty much turning these live stream schools into borderline
See,
pyramid
it's just a huge
schemes and
scam.
charging people
Plus, the
thousands
bigger
of
the
dollars
group
for
is,
it. This
the
is your
easier it
only
is to
choice.
rope
Make sure you
everybody
pay
into
to-
that group into doing it. Because nobody wants to be, like, left out. Everybody wants to do the same thing. So they're all just like, you know, and they've got, like, where they've already put the money into it. So now they want it to work. They want to believe it. Because if it's a fake scam thing, you know, then they have to admit to themselves, oh, no, I've been scammed. And they don't want to do that.
The Douyin gods every night for good luck. And the worst ones, they even go as far as collecting all your money until you're in debt. And don't think about escaping or running away,
probably have,
because
like,
by
the
then, they
stream
have all your
case.
personal information. Okay, now because live streaming became so big in China, I mean, you literally can retire just from a couple years of making it big on there. So everybody suddenly became an expert, and they suddenly had the secret formula. I figured
How
out the
long
algorithm.
before this
Yeah,
sort
it's
of
giving
thing
that
pops
energy,
up
except they're
in our countries? I think it's going to happen. I think you're going to have, like, some Kick streamers gonna, like, market, oh yeah, I know the secret's growing on Kick, blah blah blah. But they're probably just, like, padding their stats with bots anyway. I don't know. You know what? It wouldn't surprise me, actually. It'd probably happen on Twitch too. I'm sure there'll be people that are just like, yeah, let's just milk people for what they're worth.
charging tuition for it. But some of these training programs don't just sell overpriced courses, they evolve to full-blown pyramid schemes. And the craziest example was this thing called Superhost Courses that was being promoted throughout Chinese social media. And surprise, surprise, the course cost anywhere from 980 yuan all the way up to
do you get out of it?
12,800 yuan. First, they hook you with a cheap beginner course, a 399 yuan introductory class with 7 sessions. And when you see that price, people are like, hey, that's not bad, let's give it a try. But once you're inside the system, the upselling begins. Suddenly, they tell you, oh, you've only learned the basics. If you want the real techniques, you have to move on to the advanced class. That one costs 3,000 yuan.
If someone was smart,
But it
they'd be
doesn't
like,
stop there.
okay, if you're
you want the
so
real
successful and you know all the tips, then why aren't you just streaming? Like, surely you'd make more money doing that than teaching everyone and giving away, like, your tips and secrets. But yeah, these people, they just want, like, it's like a, I wouldn't even say it's like a get-rich-quick scheme, but they just want, like, the magic bullet that's going to get them that success.
and I mean the real knowledge, you have to buy a one-on-one coaching session with a professional streamer. That will cost you 6,999 yuan. We got beginner pack, advanced pack, ultimate legendary pack. I mean, the only thing missing here is a limited time battle pass. So let me tell you exactly how these training sessions look. The trainer starts the class with a live demonstration. He's like, today I'm going to sell you these pairs of shoes. No mistake, no mistake. Remember everything I say in this live room today. Now, the pitch barely makes any sense. I mean, it sounded like somebody generated a last-minute script last second. But the trainer delivers it with maximum confidence, which is the whole point. Because immediately after the demonstration, he orders every single student.
But also, a lot of these classes are going to have... They're going to have, like, their own people in the class to pretend that it's working. And to, like, encourage the other people to go along with it. It's a way to fake... almost authenticity, you know? It's like, oh, well, if you're surrounded by other people who believe in this thing, yeah, you're probably going to go along with it.
Then he tells them to shout live stream catchphrases like, kids, don't miss your spot. You don't want to miss out. Don't miss out. Almost as if you're spamming emotes hoping that at least one of your viewers is a 12-year-old behind the screen. And according to him, if you follow his method, you'll transform into a human cash machine. He starts yelling, to be a streamer, you must first go crazy and rush forward without caring about face or reputation. Just throw your dignity out the window and just, you know, start streaming in public and screaming at your phone. And then they started chanting, I'm a super speaker.
Yeah.
My live streams will be incredibly exciting.
Dude, what's it called? It's like a scam where they call it collapsing the old man. Whereas these young girls, they just prey on lonely old men. And they just chat to them every day. And these dudes just keep forking over money. And the goal is to take so much money that the dude collapses. And they make it like a joke and they laugh about it and stuff. Really messed up shit.
Like it'll bring you good luck and make you famous overnight. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Is that... Does that get subs? Because I'm not doing that.
They keep preaching about how you can make tens of thousands of millions of dollars and millions of views overnight if you just follow his method and just continue with the course. And if you're wondering what that method is, just buy the next course. Because he promised he'll teach you how to go viral
still messed up?
in less than 3 days. And if somehow you don't, well, that's a skill issue on your end.
Seems okay. Maybe the focus just went a bit weird. I could set it to manual focus, but I've just got it set to auto at the moment. Should be fine.
You just weren't following.
Oh no, that always happens.
Now the weirdest part about these
so
scams
check
isn't
this
even
out.
the promises. It's like the whole.
If I just go full screen, it won't do that. See, now it doesn't do it. Now it's just normal. That's my computer. It struggles decoding 2 SRT streams and then recombining them. See, but now it's fine, no problems. I go back to the laptop one, and it'll start screwing up. Yeah, so, you know, new GPU will fix that. It's one of the things. What I want to know is, are the recorded files going to do that? Because when I was looking at them before, they didn't seem to do that. That's another thing that gets fixed for the YouTube, which will be good. Actually, while we're here, I should have a quick look and see if I've even gotten any more traffic to it. See how the music just comes back automatically? I'll set that up too. Alright, so... It's me! 3 whole subs. I'm killing it. Oh, this one's actually starting to go get some views now. This had like 4 views the other day, so it's actually picking up. And this one's still getting a few views. So my goal now is to just flood this with videos. I don't care about pacing them. I don't care about like what niche they fall into. I've got a lot of recorded content that I can go through, chop up and chuck on here. So I'm gonna be pretty busy. But that's the plan.
He continuously praises himself as a
we got a
super
few, man.
mastermind in live streaming. And then he shouts,
I'll just run you
"You
through
are all
them quickly.
mine.
So
Not
the
a
camera
single
is
one of you can
closer.
leave."
It's higher up. We've got a different lens on it. I've got a noise gate on the microphone. We're running 30 frames a second. And I can record audio in multiple tracks on a file to my computer now. So I can split them up when I do the edits. It took me like over 2 hours to set all that stuff up. But we got there in the end. And this is my first real test of it now. So we're getting there.
So,
Actually,
it's
yeah,
giving
and the
live
reason I
streaming
went to all that
rewards.
effort to do
And
all
of course
that
comes the money
is
pitch.
because of Streamer University. Hang on, let's just go back here for a sec. I gotta find a better way to do this. Maybe have it like split screen so I can just quickly tab between the two. Yeah, so I was watching Streamer University and I watched all of the Ludwig lessons. And one of the big things he was pushing is when you do a stream, you should treat it as though it's a recording session for your YouTube channel. If you're doing a stream and you're not getting anything out of it at the end, like that, it's very inefficient. It's not pointless, it's just inefficient. You're putting all this effort in and then the only people who get to see it are the people that are there in the moment. Whereas if you put the effort in, set it up for a recording, edit it, chuck it on YouTube, like now you've got access to all of YouTube's audience. So it made a lot of sense. And I figured, hey, I'm halfway there already. Like how much harder is it to just set this up and edit and go ahead and do it? So I tried it. I made a YouTube channel. I got it up and running with the video in like 2 hours. And yeah, editing's not too hard. Depending on the length of the video, I can get a video done in about an hour, maybe hour and a half, and then do the thumbnail and all that sort of stuff. Highest clip. Oh, okay. Nice, man. Yeah, anything with like a human reaction, like people love that shit. Because it's just funny. Yeah, Connor does it. That's another thing. Like these guys will, they'll record their intros to the video on stream. But also, when the stream's over, maybe they're not happy with the intro. They'll record another intro. And it's more tailored because now they know what the content of the video is. They can make it a bit better. And then, yeah, it's a skill. You can get better at it by practicing and focusing on making the intro better, making the hook better, doing all that sort of stuff, making the video itself better. It's like a muscle, man. You just got to work it out, keep doing it, and you'll get better at it. So that's kind of why I'm doing this on this channel. I want to get good at this so that when I do my main channel, like, hit the ground running. We've got some good stuff going. That's the plan. Yeah, Connor Dog, because early on, he had like, he was just streaming and wasn't getting anything out of it. Like he was doing Apex Legends streams and stuff like that, and a lot of collabs with the VTubers and stuff, but nobody was recording it. Maybe a few people would clip it, but he wasn't getting any like evergreen content out of it. And it just made sense. Like, hey, Mudon, you get all the ad rev to this channel, you hire whatever you need, make the videos for it. And that's exactly how he set it up. The editors and Mudon get, I think, 100% of the ad rev on the Connor Dog channel. So his main channel is for him. But yeah, all the extra stuff. And I think the Connor Dog channel is probably pulling more views than his main channel because there's just more content on it. Yeah, he's killing it.
reveals a special offer. The course that normally costs $9,800
God, what a
is
bargain, I
suddenly
have to buy
discounted to $2,800.
Even though you've just artificially jacked up the price, and it was never that original price. This is like all those influencer finance bros doing the same shit.
What a steal! But there's a condition. You have to sign up for 2 sessions.
Yeah, I thought it would.
And you gotta start recruiting other people to continue.
No worries,
at that
man.
point, it's a pyramid scheme. The trainer
Enjoy your
insists
rest.
that the course doesn't quite meet platform requirements, but is still doable, which is just another way of saying that this might violate the rules, but let's try it anyways. Then he
Bots.
starts flexing that his
100%
channel
bots.
gets over 100,000 views every day. He says his streams can sell more than 15,000 yuan worth of products in less than 3 hours, and apparently
Yeah,
his
this is all
secret
just TikTok
method
stuff.
is to just use looped audio. They also demonstrate how to misrepresent the products and deceive the viewers. For example, he shows how to hype something up like peanut oil as a bargain, but then he suggests that you quietly swap the peanut oil with a smaller bottle or a different brand. And if customers complain, no problem at all. You can return the product.
It's just
Except
it's
the fee
scams
returning
layered on top of
usually
scams.
costs half the price that you bought it for. It's like when I get Uber Eats and the delivery fee costs half the price of my Chick-fil-A. But then people started
Yeah,
asking,
but are there
doesn't
even
this count
laws
as
for
consumer
it?
fraud? Are you kidding me? What's this silly little guy talking about? Security, get him out. Out. Don't worry about him. He's just trying to bring us all down. People like him, that's what we call failures.
Also,
Now,
in
round two,
China,
guys.
like there's a
Chant
whole
it. We
culture
are
of if you can cheat, you should cheat because it gives you an advantage. They don't care about playing fair. It's not even a factor because it's such a competitive country. They don't have the luxury of being able to do that. So I can see why so many people like push for this.
live streamers. We are live
It's
streamers.
like $1,000
被一个卖
bucks.
课的骗了7000块钱，这里的所有人都
Kick
是
your
疯子。
ass.
老师每天逼着你做你不愿意做的
They've
事。
got a pretty
本来
good
想
setup
着
though.
来这里学
Like,
习
it's a
人家
decently new
没听
building.
说的，顺便交交
They
朋
got all
友
the gear. They got
然后
like
发现每天
young
上课
people who look like they know what they're talking
有
about.
一半多的时间都是在练习。哪怕你平时再怎么要面子，来了这儿你就一点面子也没有了。我一个平时连和陌生人打招呼都不好意思的人，竟然逼着让我喊我不要脸。
How does that?
Also, students who actually complete these courses said that at the end,
How does yelling into someone's face help with running a stream to sell products? I don't see the connection there. It seems like it's just for show. It's just like something to have the people in the audience sit there and like think, oh, yep, this is going to get people somewhere. This is going to get you to build up your confidence. Nah, not a chance.
follower accounts barely even moved. They spent all that money and their accounts still had the same energy of a group chat you made a year ago for that one
Oh,
trip.
did you see
And
that?
honestly, watching these Chinese students study while
That
being
was
live
smooth.
streamed for like
That was a
12 years
smooth
for that
transition.
one trip. And honestly, watching these Chinese students study
This
while being
isn't ad
live streamed for
shit.
like
We're gonna have to
12 hours
skip this
straight like
bit.
it's the Olympics, low-key reminds
Yep,
me
here we
of
go.
why
Blah,
learning
blah,
Chinese
blah.
from
Ads.
real-life context matters way. Hello. Example sentence.
Yep.
校长
Skip,
And
skip,
Migaku
skip,
actually
skip,
has
skip.
structured Chinese course. I recognize character actually explains
Come on, put your old clothes back
you
on.
can even have Japanese access or grab an extra support me.
There we
and
go.
let's oh, they're just too busy making money. Let's log back in.
No
Now, why
worries,
do most of
Danny.
these
You
students
have a good
fail
one.
besides the ones who get really, really
You were up
lucky?
early. You were up,
Well,
I
because
think,
the
watching
people
Luke's
who
stream this
understand
morning.
live
So yeah,
streaming,
you'd probably be
they're
pretty
not
tired.
teaching. They're live streaming. They're just too busy making money themselves. The competition in Chinese live streaming is absolutely brutal. If anybody discovers a method or a strategy, they're gonna gatekeep it harder than underground rap. So instead, these schools hire instructors that honestly don't really have much experience, or they got lucky that one time
Bruh,
and then they just
They've got like
package themselves
the
as a
slightest
professional
slither
live streamer
of
because of that
authority,
one.
you know, something to lean on, and then they milk it and like, yep, this will totally work for you. Even though there's probably like other factors that gave them that success initially anyway.
Viral video. So they keep charging students until they either succeed or run out of money. And if they do succeed, they can take credit for it as well. They also collect personal information from you, which is always a comforting thought. So far in China right now, there are already over 60 universities that have live streaming specific programs. So one day
Ugh.
you might have to prepare for your kids saying, hey mom
Yeah,
and
I
dad,
need $1,000
I wanna go to China
to get scammed by these
for a
people.
live streaming degree. But after going through all these live stream training camp scams and these algorithm masters, I did start wondering something. What happens to people who actually dedicate their lives to
I mean,
it?
they
You know those
have
live stream dance groups on
Straight
Douyin
up
that
talent
stream for
schools in South Korea. Like they'll take people through the whole process to get them where they need to be to have a chance at being popular and building an audience. But it's very, very controlled. The artists themselves don't have much say in anything. They just, there's a plan, they're meant to stick to it, and if it works, okay, yeah, you become a success, but you're now locked into a contract where you're making 10% and agency's making 90%.
Hours upon end, sometimes even like 13 hours a day. There's a massive dark side to this industry that not many people talk about a lot. Besides the camera crew working like an absolute Chad, going for the best camera
Oh, that's like
hours upon end,
that's a proper
the
big-sized
dancers and
gimbal
the
with a DSLR on the end of it. You're holding like 5 kilos doing that. It's not easy. I've lifted this up. I usually just bring the whole thing out on tripod. So I've got the camera, the phone, the mic, and the tripod. And that probably weighs like 3, maybe 4 kilos, depending on the lens. So those guys, yeah, get workout in.
Performers for many of these groups suffer a pretty dark reality. Let's take a look at a live stream dance group called Peach Island. And they weren't just some random TikTok dance group that was just created in your home. It was actually created from people who directly came from China's idol industry. One of the founders is Do Xiaomeng, who also helped produce the survival show Chuang. The other founder is Sizia, who also used to be a manager at SM Entertainment, which is renowned in Korea's K-pop industry and the one who also launched aespa. So these weren't amateurs, they knew the idol system in and out. So within 3 months, they assembled a 7-member team. One of the members was Liu Yingchen, and she's only 20 years old, and she already has about 1.8
running
million
a successful idol group in Japan or South Korea, why would you waste your time with that when you could go to China and have an audience of over 1 billion people? You know, that's at least a 5 to 10x increase on your potential audience. So these dudes are actually pretty smart.
On Douyin. While she was still in university, she was posting videos about her K-pop routines and dances on campus, which ended up going viral and blowing her up. Like, not like literally, but you know what I mean. This caused her to make a decision to drop out of school and join a Beijing girl group, which eventually she had to leave because the company's values didn't really align with
Back
her.
to uni?
So this is where live streaming entered the picture for her, which only happened a couple months back. This is a very recent story. She said that she always wanted to become an idol, but she was just born a bit too late to catch that massive era of live talent shows on TV. And if you guys know the struggles about the K-pop group idol industry, you know that effort doesn't
There's going to be a lot of
always equal in
nepotism
effort.
and
It's extremely rare that a
favoritism.
group
You're not going to get a fair shot, no matter how hard you work at it.
debuts, and it's that 0.1% that usually do. So many people who have strived to become an idol usually end up in debt after
That's
8 to
nuts.
10
Imagine
years in
training
So live
for
streaming became
something
her
for a
alternative path.
decade, and then you still fail. You still don't get anywhere. You would be better off just doing it on your own or with a group of friends. Like, be a genuine, like, grassroots level group. Like, people would rather support that than some soulless corporation that's trying to squeeze you for every bit of money.
And then there's He Jingjiao, and her story honestly feels like something right out of a C-drama. I mean, the first time we see her is literally her with a shoulder injury backstage while other performers are still doing
But also, these people
and she's also
are like
crying too.
straight out
But
of
the
high school, straight out of university, very young, very impressionable, very easy to take advantage of. All you need is some slick dude coming along saying, hey, look, we'll take you through the ropes and you're going to be making millions. And they just sign right up.
The reason she's crying isn't because of the pain, it's because that she's afraid she won't be able to dance again the next day. And it doesn't help that He's parents didn't approve her dancing at all. She had to secretly teach herself hip-hop dances. To make them happy, she got into university, but later got the option to study abroad in South Korea. And while she was there, she actually secretly signed a 10-year idol contract without her parents knowing. Except her parents intervened, brought her back to China,
busted.
and it kind of ruined her whole plan. So instead, she kept dancing online, posting clips, and building a following, which eventually got her to 350,000 followers. Honestly, props. You
That's
know how
kind of
Asian
sad.
kids can be.
She
So
probably
when
had
Peach
a real
Island saw her
chance at
dance
it, and
videos,
then
they reached out to her.
parents just like, nope, you're gonna learn how to be a useful person to society.
recruit her. And she took it because at 25, she already felt that her window was closing and that live streaming was her last shot. So fast forward, they started preparing Peach Island's debut. The performers rehearsed constantly, choreography, facial expressions, stage positioning, like everything from morning to night. It was a grind, okay? It was non-stop. And the stress definitely started showing because even one of the other performers, Tao, had a nightmare that nobody would send them any virtual gifts during stream.
Then, so it's not
Yeah,
pre-recorded
and
or
finally-
anything. They literally do the performance on stream and then hope that they can get direct monetization from their fans. Whereas traditional K-pop is produce music video, pump out the music video, have concerts, that type of thing. This is way different. And also, because they're all so young, and you have a limited shelf life where your appeal is at its most, there's always younger people come along and like boot you out. So it'd be really competitive.
Big moment came. September 4th, 2025 at 4:49 p.m. Live stream started. Founder Sijie shouted, "Go." All of the performers rushed onto the stage with the song Love Emergency. Behind the scenes, you can literally see the staff constantly refreshing the Douyin page, because viewership heavily depends on Douyin's algorithm to just randomly promote your stream. At the control desk, all the staff were watching real-time analytics. They were watching the stream, they were watching the viewers' comments, the gifs, like they were monitoring everything. It's like
So you can do all this
the
work,
stock
all this
market.
effort,
Whenever the
put
viewer
in all the money, you got to pay people to make the song, production team, all that, and then it's still down to chance because it's purely random.
numbers dropped, somebody would just start panicking and they just had to start shouting and yelling. They also quickly replayed Liu Yingchun's most popular song to hook in new viewers. And when the stream ends, everybody, all the performers,
They're done.
they just collapse.
They've been
They
working
just-
too hard.
Just fall to the ground. Because mind you, many of these studios don't even have air conditioning. And after a couple hours to regain your
Gee,
sanity, you have to do
that's
it all over
cruel.
again. No more breaks, no more time off camera for the rest of the day. The next morning, they realized that they've already used up their entire inventory of emotes and dances that they practiced for. So the coaches had to rush to create new dances and even use some dances that were supposed to debut a couple weeks later, but they just had to use them immediately. Meanwhile, He was at the hospital for treatment, but she still returned for rehearsal. And the pay is not even that glamorous. The idols usually just earn a base salary
little
of
bit over
8,000
$1,000.
yuan and just a small share of the viewer gifts. Some studios even push the idols to privately message and DM wealthy fans to encourage them to gift them more views or more subs. It starts getting kind of weird. And sometimes the viewership of a stream can drop because of lighting, because of how somebody looks.
This is stupid.
Maybe the camera
It would make
angles,
way
or
more
it could be
sense
something as random as
to
how
just
somebody
pre-record this and then run it on the stream. What's the appeal of doing it live? Like, the audience isn't going to know. I doubt that they're interacting with people. If you did it pre-recorded, because you've got control of the studio, you could just like dim the lights and then cut to live and bring them back. And you could fake the live sections and nobody would know the difference.
flirts with the viewers, which pretty much means that luck can matter way more than talent. And by the third day, Peach Island's viewership had dropped to 700 viewers. At one point, they even got suspended because of a high heel outfit that apparently violated the Douyin guideline rules.
That's it.
At their best, the group reached about
No, that's a
7,000
lot.
viewers, which does sound impressive, until you
Yep.
realize top live streamers gain over 100,000 live viewers. So only a few people really become actual idols in this industry. And for her, she's
they're
still
at the
regrets
mercy
not
of the
taking that
algorithm.
Korean training
All that work,
opportunity
and you don't
couple
get a-
years back.
don't
She
get a real
considered that
chance.
Maybe if she didn't invest so much into dance group live streaming on Douyin, she could have had a chance in the K-pop industry. The group is still alive, but it's not as active as it once was, and everybody just kind of went their own separate ways, doing their own thing. For her right now, she still continues posting and still continues pursuing this path, which is great for her, honestly. You have to have a really strong mindset after training for
Well,
years upon
Pick
end
the skill
getting
set
almost
up.
nothing
Like,
in
why would you just give up? Like, you've got all the talent now. Now you can do your own thing and actually make it a success.
return to keep pursuing something that you enjoy, that is your passion. So Peach Island was essentially a gamble and a lifeline for all of these members. And despite all the uncertainty, the scams, the training camps, people still chase the dream of becoming a live streaming idol. Because every once in a while, somebody does make it big. Even if it's that 0.1%, that is still not 0%.
Yeah, that's
Those
a
success
survivorship
stories keep the
bias
dream
right there
alive.
too.
And I mean, it's no walk in the park at all. You have to make
People
sure you're
see
looking in the
the
right
few
places
people that
and doing the right
succeed,
thing, so you don't
But
wait.
they never see all the failures, and they never see the volume of failures to successful people. So they believe, they just see it, and they're like, oh, well, look, all these people are successful, I can do it too. But they don't realize, like, what made them get successful, the work and effort that they put in. And they don't see, like, what the people who didn't make it, what they didn't do. So it's, I don't know, it's like optimism mixed with just a complete lack of knowledge and effort, or even like bothering to like, do research to see how viable something like that really is.
Waste your money or your time. But even then, it's no guarantee. So yeah, if
Please
you
don't.
ever see me dancing
I'll never do
on
this.
live
Don't
stream
worry.
one day,
I suck at
just
dancing.
know I'm probably
Oh
being
shit,
held hostage.
he's gonna do it. Dodged a bullet there. Yeah, that was just sad. Come on, laptop. Just pause. Oh, we got another Chinese video. But yeah, the Chinese idol industry is quite different. I don't know. Like, I was going to say it's different to South Korea and Japan's. But for all I know, Japan could be doing something very similar. But if they were, I'm sure someone would have made a article on it or a short on it and it would blow up and sort of put the spotlight on it. But it just doesn't seem that way. It seems China are doing it their own way. It's very exploitative. Like, they target young girls, they lure them in with promises of riches, they pay them like bugger alls. So whatever little money they do end up making, like the studio is probably just keeping for themselves. And it would be incredibly competitive because there'd be a lot of people doing it. Think of just how many people have like phones and are willing to try and push that sort of career. It's the same over here, to be honest. Like, everybody wants to be an influencer. Alright, Chinese truck driver, or what else have we got? Have a quick look. God, I wish YouTube would leave the playlist thing expanded. They've made this change recently where it just collapses with each new video. And it's a real pain in... Ooh, doom scrolling. Yeah, actually, I'm going to just jump straight to this one. Because I've just finished editing the video on, what are they calling it? Like, it's like digital Alzheimer's or something like that. That had some sort of fear, some term that they made up that they were bullshitting about. So I've still got to, like, do the thumbnail, do the title, export it, and then upload that. So I'll be doing that after this. But, yeah, this will be, like, the UK perspective. Slightly different. This is doom scrolling, so this is not based on an addiction. This is just the act of doom scrolling and how it affects people. And I've seen how it affects people. I've dabbled with some doom scrolling myself, and from what I can tell, it's just a way to kill time, and you don't retain anything. You're just zipping through these videos, and you just don't care. And usually you'll do it while another video is playing, so you're not getting anything from either. It's crazy. It's like a distraction from a video, which is already a distraction from real life. So, let's see what the BBC have to say about it.
Actually say about whether social media is ruining our attention spans. Personally, I'm finding it a lot harder these days to sit down and read a book or watch a movie without scrolling.
I don't have
on
the
my phone.
problem with like the urge to bring out a phone, but the way people use the internet, because you just want to find the information so quickly. If you're presented with a paragraph of text, you're not reading it all. You're just looking for keywords, and that makes reading just normally, where you go through word by word, it just becomes very difficult because you've trained your brain to look ahead for the keywords, and it's very difficult to stay focused on and like get through the whole paragraph, the whole sentence. That's what I've found with myself.
Vertical videos that feel particularly addictive. So how much of that is my ability to focus actually getting worse versus me just worrying about losing my attention span? All of these fears are fairly new, so there's not a ton of high-quality studies that have been done, but there are a few. And recently, the science YouTuber Joss Fong posted a really great explanation on her channel Howtown, where she dove into what the existing science can tell us about whether that brain rot is real or if
Pretty
it's
sure it's
all
real.
just in our
We've got
fearful heads.
Kids that can't read and they're ending high school.
In this conversation about attention spans, there's a phrase that I keep hearing, which is brain rot. What do we actually mean by that phrase, brain rot? What are we actually thinking is happening to ourselves, and what is happening to ourselves?
I think what people mostly mean when they talk about brain rot is a kind of low quality internet content on mostly algorithmic social media feeds, probably primarily these short form video feeds, but also things like on Reddit or Twitter. I think people imply a low quality, but also they're implying a certain effect that they have on that this is having on our minds.
So it's the content and the impact of the content.
I think so, yeah. And for me, the question has been, if I'm spending more and more of my life consuming this kind of media, is that having an impact on my brain? And I think what we hear from a lot of people is, I used to be able to read books and now I can't. I used to be able to watch movies and now I can't. And so the implication with brain rot is that it's not just our environment changing and the fact that we have this device that's constantly distracting us, but there's actually a change happening in our brains. And that
I didn't say clip. I think it's the whole process that is changing people. Because you're just going like dopamine rush to dopamine rush to dopamine rush, and you're flicking through it, and you don't remember any of this stuff. Like, you can do like a whole hour session, and you're not going to remember like half the stuff that you looked at. You wouldn't even be able to recall like 10% of the stuff that you looked at. And the way that it trains you is, okay, something's boring. What's next? That's boring. What's next? And then if you're watching a movie, it's not going to be 100% interesting the whole time. Like, there's going to be dull sections of the movie or parts where it's a little bit slow. And when that happens, your brain, it's trained like a what is it? Like Pavlov's dog, like a Pavlovian response to find something interesting. And the response there is just pick up your phone and try find something to do.
that was the question that I really wanted to chase down, is whether that's actually true.
So you went digging into an enormous amount of research, and I love what you found, because there are actually people who have done scientific studies rather than just us thinking this is our perception. They've actually gone through and they've kind of measured what is happening. Tell us what you found about the weakening of our cognitive skills and its relationship with our devices, and particularly
See what they've done there? They've expanded the scope
There's not a
from
ton of
doom
research.
scrolling to now just short form video. There's short form videos that go for like several minutes now, so it's not, you're not just watching like 30-second clips or like Vine, like 7-second videos. Honestly, Vine's sort of like the one that started it all. But yeah, they've expanded the scope to include all short form video now, rather than just what they initially set out, like where she defines what brain rot is.
There are a few studies, and we really want to look for experimental studies, because there's plenty of correlational research which tells us that people who say they spend a lot of time consuming social media also show that they're having trouble with some cognitive skills. But that could be, a reverse causation, where people who have some trouble with cognitive skills find themselves unable to look away from these feeds. So I wanted to find experimental studies where you could actually randomize people, do a treatment, and then see if there's a difference. And there are a couple of studies that have basically given a cognitive test and then exposed the participants to 10 minutes, 30 minutes of scrolling on either TikTok or Twitter or YouTube. They tried these different forms of media, and then they would redo the test and see if there was a difference in their performance before and after that, scrolling. And there are a couple of
You
studies
did that to
showed
someone
that
who's
these
never
short-form videos
doom scrolled in their life. Would there be any change? I don't think you can have behavioral changes like that within the space of 30 minutes. It's probably going to take a lot longer. If you think of the amount of hours most people spend doing this over a week, yeah, okay, now it's starting to add up. Now you'll get like a behavioral change out of it, just due to the sheer volume that you're doing this, that you're training your brain to do, to keep seeking like a dopamine rush of some sort. But just an average person who, like some Gen X dude who doesn't even know what TikTok is, I don't think it'll have much of an effect on them if you put them in a study and test them out.
Video feeds specifically are affecting cognitive skills, even with that very short exposure. And they're small studies. I would like to see them repeated and expanded, but they do suggest that skills like being able to pause and be critical about what you're looking at, and skills like remembering to do something that
That's
you
also
intended
another
to do.
thing.
Those are the skills that we're seeing
Short form
impacted
video.
by even.
As soon as the video is over, like, you're already on to the next video. You don't even get a chance to sit down, think about what you've just watched, think about it critically, like, is it true? Is it bullshit? It's very similar to like late night show television, where it's heavily politicized. They'll push through it. You'll get the audience reaction so that you feel like you're part of the in crowd. And then they'll quickly move on to the next section so that you never have a chance to sit down and really think about, oh, maybe they're full of crap. This doesn't add up. This doesn't make sense. I have anecdotal experience that's different to this. It's kind of the same with just general news programs as well. Like 6 o'clock news, they have the same format, and they always finish with the happy article at the end.
Than just a short exposure to something like TikTok.
So, what I found super interesting in what you found and in the video that you've done on this is that there's even a difference between scrolling, the physical action of scrolling through TikTok, and if those same TikTok videos of a cat or a dog or whatever it is are merged together in a kind of like a montage style, that there's something about the act of literally physically scrolling as opposed to just watching, even if the content is the same content.
Yeah, because you've
affects our
trained
brains
yourself
in different
that this
ways.
is going to give
am
you
I getting it right?
a hit of dopamine. Again, it's a response that's learned.
Yes, that's exactly right. And that was one of the things that was really surprising to me, because I thought it was just, oh, short content is probably harming our attention spans. But it's not that the content is short. It's that it's this style of interacting where you kind of decide really quickly whether you're going to watch it or not with this swiping interface. If we're forced to just watch a long string of videos, you don't see that deficit in the cognitive performance that you see when you're interacting with these apps as they're designed. And that design is actually key to making them work. And so it's kind of built in, which led me to wonder whether we should even continue to make this form of content.
Do you know why that?
You're the video within like the first 3 seconds, or if you really just don't have the patience for it, you've got like half a second. It's an instinctive thing. You'll be like, oh, no, I know what this is. Don't want to see it. Off you go. You don't give stuff a chance.
That is, Joss, did you get a sense of why, what it is about our scrolling as opposed to just watching a montage?
Well, I think that there's something about the kind of flow that you get in when you're scrolling these feeds. You're making these really quick judgments about whether you want to keep watching, whether it's worth your time. And I think that may switch our brain into a less reflective state.
It's instinctive.
Kind of a little bit more compulsive,
time to
a
think
little
about it.
faster acting. And it also, you get to the more interesting stuff quicker. So if there is a video that doesn't particularly interest you and would otherwise make you bored, being able to skip that just means that your media experience is a more concentrated entertainment, unit.
What did you find from your research on how permanent this, I don't know, I'm not sure I love this phrase brain rot, but anyway, let's use the phrase brain rot. How permanent is this brain rot? If we do this habitually, are we
I reckon you can
damned
detox from
for
it.
eternity?
I reckon
and
you
we're
can go cold turkey, stay away from it, and you'll revert to how you were before. I don't think it's a permanent change, but I think if you're young, your brain's still developing, and you keep doing this sort of behavior, keep engaging in it, then you're going to have, it's probably going to be a lot harder to undo, not necessarily the damage, but just the learned behavioral traits that you pick up from doing it.
just never going to be able to remember anything, and we're going to forget all of our dry cleaning and every meeting we were meant to go to and why we didn't switch the lights off when we leave the room? Or can we get over this?
We have zero evidence with which to speak to that question. I would say it's way too early to say that this is permanently damaging.
Short
your
form
ability
content's
to
been
think
around.
clearly.
I mean, you could say Vine, But excluding that, really, since like what, 6 years? Maybe a little bit more, maybe 7 years tops. But for mainstream, yeah, it's 6 years. That's nowhere near enough time to tell if it's causing any sort of serious damage. Because you had the adoption phase, where there's not many people using it. Then you get the rush through the adoption phase, everyone's got it. And then you've got the late people who are joining up last, and that's going to be like your grandparents and your parents. We're sort of getting to that top part now, but it's just, yeah, it's too early to tell if this is doing any sort of long-term damage.
But I also think that we don't necessarily
Oh.
need scientific evidence to make those judgments for ourselves. So
No
if you don't think
science.
it's permanently damaging your ability to think clearly, but I also think that we don't necessarily need scientific evidence to make those judgments for ourselves.
Yeah, but you can jump
if
to
you-
conclusions. This is
sometimes I do
dangerous.
this, you know, kind of reflect on my day, and our days add up to our lives. You know, are we spending them the way that we want? And I think that the overwhelming experience of people who get hooked on these feeds is, God, I wish I didn't spend those 3 hours that way. And so I think that tells
you feel kind of grossed out by yourself.
yeah, it's kind of like, well, I kind of don't remember anything that I just watched. I know I laughed at some of it. Maybe I shared it to some friends, and maybe that helps maintain those relationships in some way. But generally, we kind of regret the time
Well,
we
far
spent.
more
Our
negative than
phones
positive. Even for the consumers of it, like, it's very fleeting what they get out of it. And then if you keep, I don't know, you keep flooding your dopamine receptors, eventually they just don't wear out, but they're not as receptive anymore. They almost build up like an immunity to it. So you're not even going to get the same enjoyment from watching stuff over a prolonged period of time.
are like a monkey playing a trumpet. And if you're wondering why you can't read your book, you have to ask if that monkey is like in the room with you. And that most of the time when we're having trouble focusing, it's because the monkey's playing the trumpet right next to you.
Yeah.
And I
Such
think
a great
if-
way. I love that way of putting it. And
Yeah.
actually, if you moved the monkey away and the sound of the trumpet was quieter, you'd be able to focus on what you were doing.
Right. Try that. Move the monkey away for 3 days and see if you can find yourself reading a book or engaging with the thing that you want to be focusing on. I think that most of us will find that our attention spans are not broken. We are just carrying the monkey
disagree
around
with
with
that.
us all the time.
So
I
after
have
doing
my
all of
phone
this,
on me
did you
quite frequently. It's almost always with me, like I would barely ever miss a call. But I wouldn't say I'm addicted to it. Like I can quite easily just put it down, go for a walk, just leave it alone. I don't need to be online 24/7. I think it's more a case of it's an addiction. And by following specific patterns of I'm bored, okay, I can cure my boredom with this, or swiping to quickly get through to something. And that's going to overflow into other aspects of your life as well. You're going to start, you're going to have less time for people because you're just so, you've trained yourself to be so quick and judgmental on content that you consume.
you change your screen consumption habits? And I'm not really talking about time here so much. I'm talking about the content of what you were looking at.
Should being honest,
Not really. Because there's something just irresistible about opening those. Like, there is something to be said about giving yourself a little break, and being able to laugh at something. There's genuinely useful tips on these feeds. And so I do have
Really?
a little bit of FOMO if I was to cut it off altogether.
that's
But I will say
crazy because you don't even remember what you've watched.
really
So how
provide-
can you get FOMO? Like, you're not going to remember anyway. You're not missing anything. You're not missing anything of substance.
I'd really create really strict boundaries around when you use it. So you're not going to be able to limit the time. So don't tell yourself, I'm only going to scroll for 15 minutes. That's a terrible strategy. What you need to say is, I only scroll while I'm walking on the treadmill or while I'm pooping. You know, like literally only in those domains. Otherwise,
Then you end up
don't
with
open
people
it.
who are just
So
stuck on
I
the
try to
toilet for
do-
hours on end, or they're on a treadmill for way longer than they need to be. Not that I know anybody who does that.
that kind of thing, but I have to say it's sort of an ongoing struggle for me, and it's an ongoing struggle for us at Howtown to to wonder if we should keep making these kinds of videos because
You know,
they
how long
are
have I been on here?
really important for creators. But
Shit, already over an
ethically,
hour.
I'm still not sure whether we should be
Goes fast.
participating.
Joss Fong, thank you for your honesty. It's very refreshing to hear somebody who's done so much research on this and also still acknowledge how difficult it is for all of
It's
us.
very challenging. Yeah, I mean, you're not. If you're
What did I
struggling with
learn
this,
from that
you're
video?
not alone.
Absolutely
You are.
nothing that
Jess,
I
thank
didn't
you so
already
much.
know. Her study didn't really go into much depth. It seemed very anecdotal. She's saying like, "Oh, I just wish we had more info." Like, well, all right, go do the study. Go chase it up. It's not hard to do. You can just collecting anecdotal witness like, I guess you could say like testimonies to it or witness accounts of how other people are affected by it in their own words. That's a data set that you can at least use from then on. And it'd be a recent data set because it's happened just then. Because, you know, it's only been around for 6 years, so we got to scoop up all the info on this as fast as we can to figure out if it's a net negative, which, you know, honestly, it probably is, or if there's actually some sort of benefit to having short form content in our lives. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Try my best. Yeah, I can't believe I've already been on this for, like, what was it, 75 minutes? Oh,
Okay,
yes,
can I be honest?
this is...
Being an old
Hold up,
anime
we're going
fan
back to the
is weird.
start.
I know.
All right,
listen,
now,
there's-
is this dude older than me? I don't think so. I reckon he might be a year or two younger than me. But, yeah, I'm probably going to relate to this pretty hard. Oh, he's way more of a weeb than me. Like, look at the background, all the shit he's got. I don't have anywhere near this much stuff. But, yeah, there is definitely a different lens that older anime fans look through and perceive it all. Because our initial introduction to it, you kind of had to keep it hidden. You couldn't tell people all about it. You had to consume your anime and hope no one was watching. And you couldn't tell people at school about it because, you know, you're watching these weird Japanese cartoons that no one else watches with subtitles, and they're like, well, why the fuck aren't you watching Home and Away or Neighbours or whatever? So, if you want a really good bit on this, who was it? Yeah, Alexi Noriara, he was on Trash Taste. They were talking to him about it. He was a closet weeb up until fairly recently. He was going to Atasha car events, and that kind of outed him. He was like testing the waters, dropping a little bit of knowledge here and there about the cars. And people are like, how the hell do you know so much about all these series? And it turns out he's a giant weeb. And yeah, he covered his experiences when he was younger and how it was and like what you had to do to just get your hands on even just, you know, just pre-broadband internet. Like, how do you get your hands on this stuff? You've got to use VHSs and stuff. So his account, he's got like, maybe like 5 or 6 years on me. Things are a little bit more accessible for me due to broadband and file sharing. And then you had like the people who just consumed it through YouTube, where it was like split up with Spanish subtitles across 10 videos. And then it hit mainstream. Then it just got easy. So it's each successive generation sort of paved the way for the next. Made it a little bit easier. A little bit more socially acceptable.
Okay, can I be honest? Being an old anime fan is weird. I know. Listen, you're saying to yourself, "What? You're
No
old?
one said that.
You look so good."
What's
I
under
know,
the
thank
hat,
you.
buddy?
I take care of myself. No, I don't though. I was thinking about eating a whole thing of Cheeto balls recently. I saw them at Sam's Club. Anyway, I digress.
That's it.
No, I'm in my 30s.
And even Unk.
So I'm old. Born in the late 1900s. That's last century, by the way. Someone in the comments right now is, okay, well, that was aggressive. It's true. It was late 1900s, and anime was hardly a
Not
thing.
entirely true.
Right? Like
We did have Toonami. There were a few mainstream ones. Like, everybody knew about Dragon Ball Z. Everyone knew about Sailor Moon. They were kind of universally accepted by everyone because they were just on mainstream TV. But the more nuanced stuff, the stuff that never really got officially subbed or dubbed for international release, if you're into that, then you were kind of like a bit weird, a bit fringe, a bit on your own.
mean, I've talked about this before, and like that brought stuff over here. Like it was everyone. I feel like at least the people like making content on the internet or people that got into anime and stuff like that. Like Toonami was kind of your gateway, because you know what you definitely were not doing. Going to a Best Buy, or in my case, a media play. What's a media play? Here's an old photo. They
even stock it?
And buying
it was very fringe. You wouldn't be getting a lot of sales volume out of that stuff back then, so there's probably no use in even stocking it. To get your hands on, like, I was going to say DVDs, they weren't even out, like VHSs, you would have had to go to just like a Japanese importer of some sort, somebody who specializes in it. It was very, up until file sharing came around, like I used Direct Connect and Kazaa, and then after that, torrents. As soon as torrents came out, boom, it exploded. You had the fan subs everywhere. You could get the stuff week by week. That was the best way to do it. But up until that point, it was very difficult to get your hands on anything.
Anime DVD that had 3 episodes, and it was like
who can
$20.
afford that?
That was like in early 2000s money, right? Yeah, you know what I mean? $20 for 3 episodes. And so it's so wild to me to see anime and manga and all this stuff become so popular.
It was inevitable.
Like, it is a popular thing to do.
I mean, there's a reason people liked it in the first place. Like, it has genuine appeal. It was just the stigma of it being associated with nerds and geeks and like otaku and that sort of thing that drove people away from it. And then it just slowly became more socially acceptable to the point where it's ingrained itself more and more in our culture. Like, what was it? There were VTubers. Yeah, there was like some VTuber at like a big screen, like football event or like a baseball event or some shit like that. So it's you know, like, has it peaked? I think the adoption rate's going to continue going up until it's just normal, especially with how people consume culture and content now, because you get it all through the internet, whereas we got it through controlled channels, and you could only watch what they were putting on there. There was no feedback either. They just chose, oh, you're going to watch this. If you didn't like it, you just flick the channel, but there was no way for you to request something that you wanted. Whereas now, you find something, you go get it. Easy.
And I just kind of wanted to vent about that, so strap in, right? There was a lot of times in school and growing up when you liked this stuff, when you said it's time to duel and threw down your Yu-Gi-Oh cards, it was not looked on fondly. People were not like, yeah, all right, dude, yes.
And people used to shit on me for liking the Pokemon game that I had on Game Boy, or I would play on an emulator. You know, they're like, oh, do you like the cartoon? I'm like, I like the game. I had to leave early. I couldn't actually watch the cartoon. The cartoon started too late. I'd miss my bus if I tried to watch that.
Dragon. You were made fun of.
Yep.
Like, in a big bad way. I cannot reiterate, maybe it's just my experience, right? Like, I was made fun of so much that I was just like,
also,
anime?
Before that,
thanks.
you get made fun of for enjoying video games, because the popular people would play sports, and if you can't play sports, then you basically aren't going to have friends, and you're going to rely on video games, an entertainment that doesn't need friends, therefore you're a loser. That was the thought process, up until sort of 1996, 97, when the PlayStation came out and the 64 came out. That changed things. Then people were getting on board with it. But before that, you had a Super Nintendo or Mega Drive, people would shit on you for liking video games.
Hide all your anime stuff in the closet. It's a truth. That's factual. I've said that multiple times. It is factual. And so, like, to see, whether I love the company or not, to see Crunchyroll like be one of the biggest streaming services currently, you know, like the hours watched on Crunchyroll. I haven't looked into this. I'm gonna put this. This is post me in editing, but it probably,
to be fair, that's globally. You need to compare US market to US market, and you'll get a very different result, I'd imagine.
minimum, it definitely rivals Paramount Plus. You know, like bare minimum, Peacock,
Is way off.
Crunchyroll is more than the Peacock app, right? Probably Apple TV as well. But to be one of the biggest streamers to be specifically about anime is wild. And I think it's so cool, right? Like, I can't reiterate. I know this video can come off as like, back in my day, it was better. I'm not saying that. I think it's actually the accessibility to really cool stories, whether it be anime or manga. Like, you can see this in manga right now. We are getting so much reprints we never thought was over here. Regardless of, you know, maybe if they should have done deluxe edition, you can buy Kingdom now over here.
You can get
know,
almost
really
anything
bad.
these days,
Just
whereas
gotta
we
release.
had to rely on scans and fan subs. And if the group doing it just bailed, well, then you're out of luck. Like, you better hope someone else is picking it up, and you better hope you can find who's doing it so you can keep reading it.
Like, those kind of things would not even be close to happening if manga and anime weren't
Pachinko.
popular forms of
Chinko's
media
killing it.
out right now. You know, like, to buy anime merch, you probably still can. If you go to a mall,
Oh, this is so
don't
condescending.
know, put it right here.
Don't
A
do this.
mall, bunch of shops in one location. You hang out with your friends, you go to the food
You
court.
see, fellow
right?
kids, I'm an old
You know, you
man,
get
and we
pretzel,
had malls when we were children.
Probably. With cheese.
Westfield,
My mall had
we've
a
got them.
merry-go-round thing inside of it. I never wrote it because I just didn't trust it. To be honest with you, it looked shifty, right? And you had to go to PacSun. PacSun had a lot of anime stuff. Hot Topic.
I'm trying to think.
Hot
When I was
Topic
growing up,
actually
like,
had
what stores
spin-
had anything anime related? We had, it was like What's New or What's News. There was like this little sort of trinket shop, but it was all like little gizmos, like yo-yos and stuff like that. I think they had some stuff. You probably had maybe some of the video game stores, like Video Games Heaven. Maybe they, and like Toys R Us, maybe they had like some plushies, but it'd be all mainstream stuff. There were no retailers that really had like proper, real anime merch, videos, manga, none of that.
Spencer's Gifts. Don't go in the back of Spencer's Gift. That's just, hey, if you're watching this video right now and being like, what's Spencer's Gift? Let me look it up. Let me go to the back of the store. Don't do that. It's not for you. But just having the option that, you know, people are so into this that they're
One person's
making
doing
cool
that.
clothing brands or they're making internet content is really cool to see, you know. And I was just really thinking about growing up in the 90s and early 2000s and it being the things that you didn't talk about. Like the stuff you had to like signal to a person
Do like
across the
fucking
way that
narrative
they
hand
locked in
movements.
and they
Just
also
to,
were
like,
like,
see if
yeah.
they knew.
You're like,
Yes, you're one
you
of
hit them with a
us.
tri-beam. You know what I
Uchiha
mean?
clan.
Hit them with a tri-beam and they're like, oh,
Oh, dude,
I know.
it's
That is the best character.
the
in
problem
Dragon
with
Ball Z, I
being
agree.
an old anime fan. I have no idea why I added it. It's not like I'm 40 years old and into anime and completely relate to this video. Who knows? Could be. But a lot of the points he's bringing up are quite interesting. You know, they're similar to the experience that I had when I found anime and got into it. I kind of had it lucky though. Like, when I found it, I already had broadband. Already had a good computer. I had my own computer, so I could just get on the file sharing sites and get whatever I wanted. It was good.
And
But also,
that was like
this dude is
the
a
way
massive
you
weeb
kind of
compared to me.
could
Like, look at all the shit he's got in the background. Like, he spent some money on this. I'm more sailing the high seas to get my content, if you know what I mean. So, yeah, props to this guy for supporting the industry.
discuss stuff you were watching on Toonami after school, you know? Like forums wasn't even huge. They existed, but the way the internet worked,
Yeah.
Mom, get off the phone. I'm trying to get on the internet. You know, you hear the dial-up noise.
Oh,
Let's
shit.
play the
Everyone
dial-up
knows what
noise
this sounds
right
like.
now, and if you're of a certain age, it's going to give you PTSD, but here you go.
Oh, they're in the other
Right.
room.
Yeah, you remember? Mom,
He's got
get
them.
off the phone.
He's not putting them in his set, but
Mom,
I'm sure he's got
LimeWire
that
right
stuff.
now. I'm downloading this Vegeta Linkin Park song. Mom, please. And to see it, some of the highest grossing films are making like hundreds of millions of dollars in the theater. When let's be honest,
Yeah. People care
Not many
more
people
about
go to
that than
theaters.
actual normal movies. because it's become so culturally accepted and spread so far. You know, like you can get you can just get subs of anime and dubs of anime in every language. Whereas in the past, like, you would be lucky to get a dub in English. And when you did, it was shit. They didn't hire good actors. You could tell the actors weren't putting their best into it. And you were just better off with the subs anyway.
So just to have, like, just to be living in this world where you're like, how did this happen? One, people realized how cool it was. That's
Oh,
really
this
how it
old footage.
happened. Just to
It's
live
like 2003,
through that
2004.
has been so interesting. Like, even making content on the internet about it, in my small, very bubble.
Yeah,
on the
they
internet
were
that you
bad,
stumbled
man.
Across. Or if you're subscribed, that's really cool and you've been, like, hanging out with me. But
And then
even in my
think about it now, right? Like, back then, if
I
you're an
would have the
aspiring actor, like, you would not want to be, like, doing dub work, right? Like, you would feel, oh man, I have to do that. That's like beneath me. I want to be a real actor. Now you got people that want to do it, like that. Oh, that's so cool. I want to be doing that. It's completely changed over time. That's how popular it is now, how desirable it is. You could even say that the voice acting side of it is so crowded that they're like driving down the pay, and it's incredibly difficult to even get into it now. Yeah.
Opportunity to be like, you know what's really cool?
Not even that, man. The voice actors get
You
their
know,
own
and-
social
and-
media followings now. Like, back in the past, that never happened. Nobody cared. Now you've got people going on like YouTube videos, Anituber videos, and they can tell the voices by name. They're like, oh, it's so-and-so, and he did this, and he did this. It's such a different world now.
Talk about it to like 10, 20, 30, 100 people or whatever, that's like, yeah, this stuff is sick. It's awesome. You know, and to so easily find people that like it. And don't get me wrong, and you guys know this because you're on the internet, like, the anime and manga community, some can be, like, for lack of a better term,
Oh, yeah.
they suck.
A lot of people with
Lack of a
very
better
strong
term,
opinions.
It could be horrible.
But also, the thing about there being more people that are accepting of it, I kind of disagree with that. Because if I find people in my age gap, or around same generation as me, like, it's still quite rare to find anyone who gives a shit about anime. But the younger you go, like, yeah, then it becomes more acceptable. It's like a generational thing where they adopted it and just didn't care. Like, we didn't have anime clubs or anything like that when I was in school or even university. That all came, like, way later. We were the closet weebs.
Right? But I can speak from my experience
Yeah, it's cool, isn't it, eh?
dealing with, you know, comments and stuff like that. Like, just having the opportunity
I mean, what,
to
you had-
do this. And
Wasn't it
and I-
Samuel
I
L.
think that's,
Jackson in, like,
growth
Samurai
of a person,
Champloo?
right? I don't really care.
I think he did, like, the
You know,
dub
I
for
like this
that.
stuff. I
Like,
think
that was
this
a
stuff
big
is
moment.
cool. Hopefully, I make cool enough stuff. Not this video, because there's not much going on in this video. But hopefully, I make cool enough stuff that people also think it's cool. You know? And I would have never done this back in the day. You know, when I was playing the very legal copy that I had, first off, on the computer of Legend of the Super Saiyan.
Oh, it's wrong.
If you guys have ever played, it's one of my favorite games.
What's this on? This looks like
it's like
Game
an
Boy
RPG.
Advance.
Tien, back to Tien, the goat of Dragon Ball. He can survive the Saiyan attack and come to Namek with you. And you could play with, like, cards. It is a really such an interesting game. If you can absolutely, hey, listen, if you can absolutely get a legal
Yeah, it's like a
copy,
fan translated
you know what I
version
mean,
too.
of it, you should check it out because it's really, really fun. But I think sometimes I take for granted.
Yeah, what did
that
The Rock
I
act
can
in?
watch obscure anime or
I don't really
read obscure
hear a lot of
manga or have it in my
the
collection for
international
granted,
actors
right?
because I usually just watch the subbed versions of it. But occasionally, like with Edge Runners, like I had to watch that in the dubbed version. I actually watched both, and I prefer the dubbed version because it just makes more sense. It didn't make sense here. I'm yapping away in Japanese and then saying "chum" and all that sort of stuff. It didn't match up, so I couldn't do it.
Like, I kind of forget that. And that's what I was thinking about. That's what made me kind of want to make this video of, you know, stuff can feel
Oh, here we
this-
go. Where's all his
it can
degenerate
definitely
shit?
feel like,
It's
oh,
got to
I
be
read
hidden
this.
in here somewhere. He's got like some pretty nice posters. Bleach, he's just a filthy casual. He's got a lot of manga though. Jesus Christ. And then like all his DVDs and stuff. They're probably just more manga. I think this dude's mostly manga. I don't think he's like collecting so many DVDs and stuff. And that makes sense. I think manga's actually the better way to get through it. But it takes effort to read. So yeah, people just rely on anime. It's just easier.
Story before, you know, or I've watched this show before, or sometimes it can even feel like, you know, I'm over it. Like, have I watched all the anime that I'm going to watch? Have I read all
there'll be
the
new
manga
stuff
that
coming
I'm
out.
going to read? Because nothing is like grabbing me, right? Like, you can go into a reading slump,
Yeah.
or a watching slump, whatever.
It's
But just
basically backwards. You get the
trying
book, like you know how we open it up and you start from left to right. Manga is usually top right down to bottom left, and then you start. Basically, the books are like backwards. But it's confusing because some people will do like fan translations and they'll flip it, and like you never know. You never know. Like, oh, have they done this? Until you see like something in the background and it's like backwards. But then they'll fix that too sometimes, so you just don't know.
sit back and be like, dude, there are so many obscure anime that you can just
There's
stumble.
heaps. There's way more available now than there used
know?
to be.
You didn't have to
Way
like
more high quality stuff.
LimeWire, like download a random episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! And you're like, uh-oh, Spanish. I can't speak it. It's not subtitled, right? You can go to Crunchyroll, and most of the time, if you're looking for something, it's probably on there. Hulu has a big selection. Even HBO Max, honestly, has a big selection. And not only that, if you really like something, it could be the most obscure thing ever. I promise you, you're on YouTube right now if you're watching this video.
100%.
You go in that search bar, and you can search up somebody is making a video probably similar to this one, talking about something that you think is awesome.
Also,
And I think
you've got
I
guys
forget
like
that.
Gant and Joey.
It's so
They were
easy.
kind of like the first guys to go on YouTube and really talk about it. Because there weren't a whole lot of people even making good videos back then, but they just dived into it. And then they grew as more people found out about it and got interested in anime. And they just rode that wave all the way up. They killed it. They chose like the perfect time to do all that.
To be like finding like this camaraderie. And
This
I
is
think
a relatively
that's
new
why I can't say like
event.
back in the day it was better. Because there's part of me that's like, man, it was kind of cool to signal to someone and it's like this like secret thing, right? It's not mainstream. Like that's fun in a way. But just being able to stumble across stuff that you've never heard of, or stumble across stuff that someone talks about in a video and you start reading it and you're like, this is my favorite series that I've ever read.
Also,
Like,
it's
having that
much
so
easier to
easily.
find good stuff because the goods, it's like the cream rises to the top. So you can find good stuff because that's what people are talking about. And it's much easier to just come across like good recommendations. Whereas in the past, like somebody's like, oh, I really like this show, you should try it out. And then you watch it and it's just dog shit. And you're like, what the hell, man? Why am I wasting my time with this? It was real hit and miss. Sometimes you'd find something good, sometimes you wouldn't. But there weren't any sites ranking, giving reviews, none of that. It was just something's coming out. You got to watch it to figure out if it's any good or not.
Makes it special, right? Makes it being more mainstream now, I think, a good thing.
Oh, he's got
And, yeah, I
Naruto.
just had to remind
That's
myself.
pathetic. Why would
I
you
just
pay for that? The most mid of all the shonen animes and mangas? You can do better, buddy. This guy's a filthy
I remind
casual.
myself to be thankful for having this manga collection that
Hold
I
up,
really
hold up.
enjoy,
What else has he got?
or
He's got Ichi the Killer?
finding something, having
What's that? Hikari Man? I don't know what that is. Innocent something. He's got initial D. All right, he checks out. He's a legend. I'll give him a free pass. He's a solid dude.
this manga collection that I really enjoy, or finding something that I enjoy with Rambo.
Who is that? Hey, Starkiller, how you doing, man?
Click on the video and check
What's
it out.
that you got?
And you guys are so kind.
Is that like your Twitch birthday when you get the little hat because it was the day that you signed up? I think it is. I'm surprised it comes through on this little chat app. It's yeah, they've built this thing well. Welcome in. We're just watching a video on like being an old man and being into anime and how things have changed. And this dude's just like, he's just saying what's in my head. He knows what's going on. The flower. Oh, it's gone now. Maybe that's like a first message. No, next to it. I'll show you. It's easier if I just do this. If you look on the phone next to your name, there's a little thing there. It's like a little hat or a Dorito or something. I think it's because it's your first message here. I think that's how the app shows it. So it's probably just me that can see it. But yeah, welcome in. I've done a lot of work on my setup today. I've got good audio, finally. I've changed my camera lens and position. It's actually, my tripod is sitting on a bunch of speakers so I can lift it up higher. So I get a slightly better angle. And yeah, I set up like ducking and a whole bunch of audio stuff. I've got the not noise cancellation, but like gets rid of all the background noise and stuff so things sound a bit better. And I'm pretty happy with this. This is like my first real test of this setup. And so far, it seems to be going all right.
So cool about it.
Yeah, I've been walking for...
Be like, yeah.
Hang on. 99 minutes. I've done 5 kilometers, because I'm only doing 3 kilometers now. I'm going quite slow. Because what I would do is I would normally just spin up the treadmill and just watch YouTube. You know, go for like an hour, maybe hour and a half. And I figured, hey, you know what? I could probably stream this. Like, why not? So I figured out how to do it, put it all together. And yeah, now this is like a big part of my streams. Because normally I ride my bike. Normally I strap the camera to my chest and ride around town and show the beaches and all that. But I can't do that at the moment. It's too cold. My asthma won't let me go outside. So this is a good way to still get exercise and still stream. So kind of happy with it. Hey, Chase, it's in here too. Welcome in, man. Yeah, sometimes I ride a bike. Yeah, the camera artifacts because my computer's a piece of crap. Like, I can make it go away by doing this. Right? Now it's stopped. Now it's fine. Because it only has to encode one signal. For some reason, an RX 580 can't handle 2 streams coming in to encode together and spit one out. It struggles. But I'll fix that soon. I've got a new GPU that I've got my eyes on, so that'll fix things up. And yeah, it's cold. It got to like, I think like 14 degrees today. It was sunny, but it was still really cold, so that's just how it is. Yeah, Chase, he's Austrian. He's not Australian. He's one of them now. They've claimed him. Don't let the accent fool you. Yeah, I like doing the bike rides. I want to get back out there, but
just being able to
the weather.
Be like, this stuff is awesome. And just to have access to stuff that I never thought I would.
I like this guy's take. He's
great
very
talent.
Appreciative of how things went. You know, because if it stayed the same, it was still this niche thing that was very hard to get your hands on and you got looked down on for being into it. Like, that would suck. Like, he obviously really enjoys it. So, yeah, this is kind of wholesome. I just realized he's got a cat down there too. Yeah,
and
it's about that.
I just
it does
really
get cold.
Need to remind myself of that. So yeah,
like European summers are
it's
just
kind of cool to have that perspective. I think
25, 26 degrees.
So I'm really grateful.
Kind of chill.
My back hurts more. My knees pop a little bit, like when I stand up. You know, my knee.
Give us the knee pop ASMR.
Lower back, really. It's just. I wonder if it's time for Icy Hot. That probably dates me too. Do people still use Icy
Hot? So young there.
Shaq did a commercial for Icy Hot.
Shaq's an old man now.
But anyway, dear Lord, hey, if you made it to the end of this video, I appreciate you, and hopefully you got something out of it. You know what I mean?
This dude's cool. I'm gonna share his channel.
But yeah, I was just thinking about being an old anime
Respect
fan
to him.
like how far we've come, right?
Look how slow the laptop is.
And I cannot wait.
It's not bad when I'm not encoding. But
see where anime and manga
yeah,
go.
it is bad when it is
Especially here in
encoding.
North America. But yeah, I appreciate you guys for always watching.
You're welcome,
And I appreciate
Daniel
you guys
Peppers.
mentioning this video. It means the world.
Here we go. So yeah, I'll tell you how I got this set up. I've got the laptop. It's encoding what's on screen, and it's sending it off to my computer in my room. And then I've got my camera that's hooked into a capture card, which is hooked into my phone. And then that sends also through the local network to my computer in my room. And then that has like all the scenes and stuff set up and spits it out to Twitch. But yeah, it's very cobbled together with like duct tape and glue. But it kind of works, so, you know, I'll make do with what we got. Austrian summer, 25s. Oh man, that would be lovely. I would kill for 25 degrees. I just gotta wait. I don't think we're gonna get like warm days until, you know, at least the end of August. Even the end of August is still gonna be like probably 16, 17 degrees. Once it gets over sort of 16 degrees, I can get back on my bike and get out there. But yeah, when it's cold, like it's not that I'm a little sook, it's that I can't breathe. So riding a bike, yeah, it doesn't work out too well. Was that RIDI or NDI? My eyesight's so bad. But yeah, it's just SRT. This encodes SRT. H.265 sends it off. That does it as well. Although I knocked them both back down to H.264 to try to fix an issue I was having, like drop frames or whatever. Seems to have worked. Seems alright.
World to me. And I hope if you're having a bad day, it gets better. If you're having a good
Stuff.
day, I'll become
This guy's is all about that positive
See
energy.
you next time.
I'm cool with that. Yeah, we'll just wait for this. There we go. Hold up, Richard Hammond.
The other week, Richard reviewed.
I might save some of these for a future stream. I've been going for a while. Been going for 99 minutes and 5 minutes. It's actually going around the clock. We've clocked the treadmill. So give it a stop. Save my legs for the next day. Yeah, I haven't heard from Andre in a while. He's on Discord every now and then, but I haven't spoken to him in a bit. So I don't know what he's up to. But I'd imagine he's still playing like D&D with the boys. But yeah, you just got to hit him up and see what he's up to. All right, man. Let's, what am I doing? I got to remember. Yeah, let's find somebody to raid out to. Because I got to get some work done. I've got a video to finish up. Oh, also, the other thing I'm doing is, on my local computer, the one in my room, I'm recording all of this, but I've split the audio up, so it makes editing way easier. Because what I do is I do these videos, I record them basically on stream, and then I edit them and chuck them up on my channel. Which is... Come on, computer. We'll just go YouTube. Do I have it? No, I don't have it in history. It's intense_7, but it's all letters, no numbers. I only just got this going the other day. Oops, I spelt it wrong. There we go. Here is my brand new channel. I've already got, I think, 2 videos on there. And we'll have the 3rd one up tonight. So this one did okay, you know, for a brand new channel, 122 views. I'm not too upset with that. And if you find the time to visit during one of the open days, you'll probably see him being the only extrovert in a verein of introverts. Where's this at? Talks of Andre, he's busied his life with, yeah, the video game club. Yeah, he was all about that. He was still building that, that Chinese fighter arcade game thing. What was it? Like Dong Dong Everywhere or something like that. I can't remember it. But he was like really hyped up about that. I thought he was trying to get that ready for, oh, what was it? Dokumi. I thought he was trying to get that ready for Dokumi, but I don't know if he was able to do it. Ah, okay. Yeah, see, my German sucks. I should know that, but I don't. Oh, well. Yeah, so he's still like right into it, but yeah, his passion is now arcade machines. Well, that's what he's all hyped up for. Oh man, we got heaps of people we can raid. Normally there's like hardly anyone. I'm gonna give this a quick refresh because I don't know if that's everybody. Looks like a few people have just started. Don't disappear just yet. We'll be getting this on the way. So we can either raid Bag Lady or we can raid Mitmat. Mitmat does a lot of like really cool stream stuff. He like hooks all the tech together and he does some pretty cutting edge stuff. And Bag Lady's just cool. She's Jonan's friend and she's given streaming a crack and she's got some good stories. She's a fun person to chat to. Yeah, that's it. Dong Dong Never Dies. That was the one. Oh, he's got another job. Oh, maybe he's you're thinking about the old one. So he's I'm pretty sure he works. He's doing like sound work for like a government broadcasting place. That's as much detail as I'll go into on that. Go to channel. You know what I can do? I can make this way faster. I can go like this. There we go. I can mute that, and I can stop this, and then the laptop will actually work. There we go. All right, cool. Now we can actually use it and find someone to raid. So we're going to raid Bag Lady, because I've never raided her. She's never on when I'm on. Oops. Bag Lady 37. And then the raid message will just be, I don't know, let's think of something. I'm usually good at coming up with raid messages when I'm in chat for other people's streams, but when it's my own, it's impossible. Just say like saying hello from Australia. Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, it's good to have you in here too. Good to see you pop in every now and then. I don't see you in like other people's streams that much anymore. You must be pretty busy, so yeah, that's just how life goes sometimes. Dismiss this ad. We don't want that. Get out of here with them ads. There we go. All right, how much delay do I have? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Damn, that is long. That's like 7 or 8 seconds. Jesus. Oh well, it's how it goes. Yeah, I also got a bunch of videos. I'm going to save a few of these for another stream in the future. Just got to grind out a few more videos. But yeah, thanks for stopping by, guys. I'll be doing this quite frequently. Even when it's summer, I'm still going to be doing treadmill videos because I like them. They're fun. And I like going through the videos and doing the editing side of it too. It's good stuff. But yeah, let's accelerate this. Just raid message, just like, I don't know. Raiding in from Australia, something like that. I'll even type it up. And you can put Austria if you want. There we go. But yeah, I'll catch you guys around. Let's get going. And then it does like the wait for like 10 seconds or whatever. I hope you're still on.